Okay, let's take a look at lesson 24 from Sagreras. This is from the second guitar book. So look at the first measure. Go ahead and look at the music. You have these markings that are there. That it's the letter C with a Roman numeral followed by a Roman numeral. What that means is that you have a bar chord, and you're going to hold that bar throughout that, where you see that line. So you'll see, like, for example, measure 1, you see a letter C, and then there's a Roman numeral 2. What that means is that you're going to hold the bar for that chord. And if you look at there's a dotted line or a line that's connected to that C Roman numeral 2. And that lasts for the first 6 measures. So that just means you're going to bar the chord and you're going to hold it with the left hand, right? So you have like this. And then after that, then we go to the next phrase, right? Or to the next section of measure 7. If you look, first measure, you're going to have to hold that bar down across the first 3 strings. Okay? When you get to measure 3, you're going to have to move the finger up on the left hand to cover the first string and the 5th string. And then on measure 4, you move it back to the 3 strings. Okay? And then when you get to measure 5, you're going to have to move it back up again to get that B in the bass. Okay, so you do have to move it. And you have to reposition it, right? So keep that in mind as you're going through each measure. Okay? Your bass line is going D, C sharp, B, A, B, and then B again. Okay, all the while you're doing that bar, you're gonna have to fret the chord, right? So if, like, the first measure, you're doing this, right? Second measure, it's the same shape, you're just adding the C sharp in the bass. Okay, measure 3. You're still holding that same shape, but now you have to hold down the B in the bass. Okay, and then measure 4. You're still doing the same chord up on the treble strings. You're just having an open A on the bass. Okay, and then measure 5. You go back to that B in the bass. And then the second beat, you have an A and a D sharp. So it's a bit of a stretch, so get used to that stretch there. And then the last beat of that measure, you have an A and an E along with that B. So you have this. Okay. Then measure 6. And then you have an open B there. Okay. So let's try that measure. First 6 measures. Okay, going on to measure 7. You have a high A on the first string, so you're going to hit that 5th fret along with the low E. Then the next measure, measure 8. You're going from the A to the G right there. Okay. Then going to measure 9. The same as measure 8. Then measure 10. The bass goes down to an E flat, so all you're just going to do is move down to the 1st fret of the 4th string. Okay, so we have measure 7, 8, 9, 10, then 11. You have an open D and a G on the first string. Okay. Then measure 12. You have a C sharp and a G on the first string. And if you notice on the marking there, it's a C with a line through it. So that means you're going to do a half bar, right? So I'm just barring these 3 strings, and then I'm doing. Okay, and that's on the 2nd fret. C sharp, and then A, C sharp, and then G. A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, C sharp on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and then G natural on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Then measure 13. It says C5, so you're going to have to shift up to the 5th fret. Okay? So you have an A. You have an A on the 1st string, E on the 2nd string, and then C sharp on the 3rd string. So 6th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret. And then the A is in the bass string. So you're going to play that. That's measure 13. Okay. I would go ahead and bar from the 4th string down, because the next measure you're going to have to play that G right there on the 4th string. Okay, so when you get to 13, go ahead and instead of barring those first 3 strings, go ahead and bar all 4 strings. Okay, and that'll be more efficient. Alright, so measure 13 is this. Measure 14, you're going to add the pinky on the 1st string, 7th fret. And then you're going to play the G on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Okay, so you're playing the first 4 strings. Okay, so starting from the 4th string, you're going to play the 5th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, and then 7th fret. And hold on that bass note on the 4th string. You're going to play the chord. Then on the 2nd beat, you have a C sharp. And then on the last beat, you have an open A. And then you can shift over here back to 1st position. So it sounds like this. Okay, so measure 13. Okay, let's take a look at measure 15. You have a D and a G. D on the 4th string, G on the 1st string. And then on the inner voice, you have an A and a D. 3rd string A, D on the 2nd string. Measure 16. Okay, all you're changing is the G to an F sharp on the 1st string. So hold that shape, and you're just going to go from the 1st string G, and then you're going to lift up the finger. Go to the next measure, and you're going to play that F sharp. Okay. So measure 15 is this with the D in the bass. Then measure 16. You have an A and an F sharp. Okay. Went on to measure 17. Okay, so that's a return to your A section, right? So measure 17, it's just like measure 1. Measure 18, it's just like measure 2. Measure 19, it's just like measure 3. Measure 20 is is just like measure 4. Okay, and that's also just like measure 5 and 6. Okay. Here's where it goes different the second time. 20, 21, 22. Measure 23. You have a high C there. Okay. Look at measure 23. You have a low E with a high C. That high C is going to be on the 8th fret. So you're going to play the low E and the high C together. Okay, and then you've got the open G and the open B. Then the next measure, that would be measure 24. You'd have an E on the 5th string 7th fret, and then you have a B on the 1st string 7th fret. Right, so you're going from here, right, and then that open chord is just a G and a B. So go ahead and play your open G and your open B. Okay. Next measure, 25. You have, starting from the 4th string, you're going to play G sharp, that's 6th fret, going to the next string, 7th fret, going to the next string, 6th fret, going to the next string, 7th fret. So you have 6, 7, 6, 7. Okay, that's measure 25. 26, you have the same chord. And then you're going to move up to C sharp, which is the 9th fret. And then you're going to have a B, which is the 7th fret. So measure 26. Okay, going on to measure 27. Go ahead and bar all 4 strings on the 7th fret. Okay, you have flat. Then you're going to go to an A, which is the 2nd string, 10th fret. Then you have an F sharp, 2nd string, 7th fret. Okay, so measure 27. Going to measure 28. You're going to use the same note, same string, and you're going to play D over here, and then B, and then B flat. Again, barring the 7th fret on measure 27, 2nd string, 10th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret, 3rd string, 3rd fret. (29). Just bar the first 3 strings on the 2nd fret, just bar those. And then you have hold that F sharp on the 1st string, then play the A and the C sharp together, then play an A flat. Going to the next measure. Going to the next measure. You have an F sharp 4th string, 4th fret, D natural on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then you have a rest. Then you have the A on the 5th string. And then you have your D chord. Open D, 4th string. 2nd string, 7th fret. 3rd string, 7th fret. 1st string, 10th fret. And then you just hold that chord.